Operation Epic Fury enters its fourth day of Trump trying to change the subject as the Epstein files remain a stubborn stain on his political bedsheets. It's day 4. The region seems to be on fire. Secretary of State Marco Rubio telling reporters the hardest hits have yet to come. Trump is warning of a second wave of attacks that will be way more devastating. This, as the killing of the Ayatollah Khomeini ignites the streets throughout the Middle East. On Monday, Israel launched a ground invasion into southern Lebanon to eliminate Hezbollah fighters. Hezbollah is an Iranian-backed paramilitary group in Lebanon. The government of Lebanon is repeatedly asking Hezbollah to put down their weapons. The government of Lebanon is now saying there's only room for one army in our country, but Hezbollah says no. There are reports of missile strikes throughout Lebanon as Israel tries to root out Hezbollah's current leadership. Israel is ordering residents of several villages in southern Lebanon to evacuate in order to avoid getting caught in the crossfire. The United States Embassy in Riyadh was hit by 2 Iranian drones that were able to sneak through Saudi airspace. Iran says their missiles destroyed a command building inside a United States air base in Bahrain. 3 American jet fighters were reportedly knocked out of the sky from friendly fire by Kuwaiti soldiers using their air defense systems. 3 jets, 6 pilots, all survived. Fuel tanks were hit by Iranian missiles in Oman. Saudi Arabia's largest refinery has ceased production in order to err on the side of caution. And now we're hearing that Iran is targeting Saudi Arabia's refineries. Qatar's liquid natural gas supply lines have been shut down, resulting in the price of gas surging 33% in Europe and Great Britain. This as Iran threatens to set fire to any ship attempting to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, where 20% of the world's oil must travel in order to be delivered to the rest of the world. It's Saudi Arabia relies on the Strait of Hormuz, the UAE, Kuwait. If they can't get through the Strait of Hormuz, oil gets very expensive. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has warned that he doesn't think America and Israel can do regime change from the sky. He said eventually you need boots on the ground. Donald Trump was warned last week by Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff that an attack on Iran won't work because the United States is running short on munitions. But Donald Trump took to social media on Monday telling the world America has unlimited supplies. He said, we're fully stocked for this war to go on as long as I want it to. What do you think? What do you think? 6 United States soldiers have been killed so far, 18 injured. The Pentagon has not been too forthcoming on exactly how they died. We hear reports that 3 were killed. They were all killed in Kuwait. 3 have been confirmed to have been killed by Iranian missiles. During Monday's press conference, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, that would be Dan Kane, he said America's air defense systems throughout the region are doing what they're intended to do. He said they're knocking incoming missiles out of the sky. But reporters asked, how can you say that when at least 4 U.S. soldiers were killed by Iranian missiles that were able to sneak past these American missile shields? Pete Hegseth, America's white Christian nationalist Secretary of Defense, took the microphone and said, air defenses, quote, he said, defending the air defense systems, he said, you have air defense and you hit most of it. He's saying most of the time we can knock these missiles out of the sky. There's a great new episode of the Ralph Nader Radio Hour that you should listen to. It's a podcast on these the missile defense system that we sell around the world and how accurate they actually are. Maybe not as accurate as Raytheon wants you to believe. The UAE said Iranian missiles killed 3, injured 68 when got through American-made air defense systems. The American-made air defenses knocked out 8 cruise missiles on Monday over the UAE. And these are the numbers. 161 out of 174 ballistic missiles were knocked out of the sky. And they were able to knock out 645 out of 689 drones. So that's what they're admitting to. What do you think the real numbers are? There are reports now that the U.S. Embassy in Kuwait has been hit by an unmanned Iranian drone. What are we spending? Trillions? Past 15 years on these air defense weapons? We talked about the 165 elementary school children reportedly killed in a strike in southern Iran. It was believed at the time that Israel had done that. Now we're hearing reports that it was an American airstrike. Marco Rubio denied the United States was intentionally hitting civilian infrastructure. 9 hospitals have reportedly been hit by the United States and Israel. 5 of the 9 were in Tehran, 4 others in 4 other hospitals throughout Iran. And finally, Iranian Red Crescent reporting that 787 have been killed so far by Israeli and American airstrikes in Iran. So that number is probably way higher, but by the time we started, the Iranian Red Crescent put the number at 787 killed in Iran by Israeli and American airstrikes. Trump telling the New York Post on Monday he's not ruling out the possibility of committing U.S. troops to fight in Iran. Quote, I don't have the yips with respect to boots on the ground. Every president says there will be no boots on the ground. I don't say it. I don't have the yips. That's a golf term. I don't have the yips. Troops on the ground. Only 12% of Americans favor sending U.S. ground troops into Iran. So I don't mean to trivialize anything that's going on by making a prediction, but I suspect with only 12% of Americans in favor of sending U.S. ground troops, I think Trump is going to keep bombing till he runs out of ammunition and declare victory. I think there'll be new leaders in Iran, but it's going to pretty much remain the same. There won't be the regime change, and the oppression will begin again, and Trump will blame the Iranian people for not rising up and creating a free and open society. I gave you a chance. I killed the Ayatollah, and you did nothing with it. That's what rapists do. They blame the victims. And finally, let's remember the Iranian Red Crescent reporting 787 Iranians have been killed so far by Israeli and American airstrikes. That's the number we're hearing now. You know that's going to be more. It probably already is. And that's your money. Those are your tax dollars being used to kill those Iranians. And are they going to be better off? Are the Iranian people going to be better off because of this? Is anybody going to be better off because of this? I'm David Feldman, reminding you to stay strong and protect the weak. Call your members of Congress. Please like this episode so I remain in your feed. Please subscribe to my newsletter. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the notification bell because I keep irregular hours. Thank you to Bob and Mila in the chat room. I can't thank you enough for listening to me. Thank you. And I'm going to do a show very soon. Thank you. Oh, leave a comment if I made any mistakes. I correct myself. Thank you.